There was once a time where Adin Ross was at the top of the streaming world and Cenat and Asho Speed were up and coming streamers and they were all also friends. However, nowadays Kai and Speed are way above where Adin ever was and now we honestly don't really know what's even going on with Adin. And today we'll just be looking at how the trio of Kai, Speed, and Adin broke apart to where Kai and Speed rose to the top and Adin fell to the bottom. So let's take a look at when Adin was really at his peak, since we need to see that to understand where everything went wrong. This room really is where Adin peaked. It was in what was known as a phase house at the time, and this meant that there were always people around, which is what would really help Adin get to the top. All the top moments from Adin's streams were really with other people, with two of the main ones obviously being Zeus and Bilu, but what really catapulted him even farther was all of his collaborations with various rappers. I mean, he just had a ton, and this was like the first time this had happened in streaming, and Adin was really just revolutionary in this regard. What made his stream so interesting was that he would have these famous people all in a relatively small room with a green background, and this just led to a ton of moments, especially because Adin was carrying the sus persona, and this clashed well with everyone around him and is what will lead to a bunch of funny moments.
Oh hell, I got a fucking beat. I'm about to beat his. Oh wait.
People loved seeing this environment. However, after Adin had done streams with a lot of these rappers and after things had kind of started slowing down, he would look for other ways to try and grow, and that is where everything started really going wrong. The main thing, in my opinion, was his partnership with Steak, since he would just start doing a lot of gaming streams, and he was definitely moving more towards that LA lifestyle in terms of chasing money and relevancy, and that is really what Steak allowed him to do. He was getting a ton of money for it, and he would even get flown out to luxurious places outside the country in order to gamble due to laws and restrictions. He would really start to leave the room that had made him famous, and his whole background and environment would change, with him having less people on his streams and less interesting things really going on. And he would also co-create Kick in order to gamble and also stream more controversial things, and he would just start losing his audience this way. However, around this time is also where you would see Kai Cenat and Asho Speed really rising a lot in popularity. Now, both of them were obviously already really famous before this. However, the thing is they wouldn't go down a gaming route and they stayed true to their original content. And as for Kai, his streams just got crazier and crazier, which was the opposite of Adin, whose streams had gotten more low-key as he was literally just gambling. And Kai would also start bringing rappers and other famous people onto his streams, and he was basically doing what Adin had done, but even better. And everything would really just pick up when Kai moved into the current AMP house, since he would move into the basement where there was a ton of space, and this just allowed for so much to happen. And obviously it wasn't just Kai. Similar to how Adin had Zeus and Bilu, Kai had all of AMP regularly in his streams, and they just helped bring a lot more content, and overall Kai had put himself into a big content creation ecosystem in which everyone was creating entertaining content and crazy things were going on. On the other hand, however, you had Adin, who was just streaming less and less, and he had fallen into that LA celebrity lifestyle in which he got addicted to money and other substances, and this just pulled him out of streaming since he just got way too comfortable with all the money he had, and that just made him more lazy. And with Kai, he really seems to just do better and better the more and more money he is making. And I'm not saying that money is what Kai is doing this for, but I'm just saying that Kai didn't let money change him the same way Adin did. And I think we also do have to talk about the whole Adin and Andrew Tate thing, since that was obviously a big part of his streaming era, and honestly that was kind of a strange period. Tate was the most famous person in the world at the time him and Adin would collab, so that would definitely boost Adin's numbers. However, in this case, Adin was really just getting clowned on a lot, and he would also just kind of start to lose respect this way as he just wasn't really fitting in all that well. And Kai as well as Speed really wouldn't relate themselves to Tate or anything, and that is also a massive thing that let them get ahead, and that is the fact that they don't really get political. Obviously, Andrew Tate was a massive controversial figure who was very political, so while Adin decided to dive headfirst into that with becoming political, Kai and Speed would just continue to do their own thing, and they never really got political or alienated their audiences in any way, because realistically that just has nothing to do with streaming. However, through all of this, these three were all still friends. I mean, things did seem off, as they didn't really talk as often or anything. However, they would be friends and would show up to each other's birthdays, and this was a wholesome thing. However, you can tell that Kai and Speed were definitely a lot closer and more involved than Adin was. And let's talk about the present now and see what all three of them are doing in the moment, since I think that will really just put everything into perspective. Kai just bought a house that him and Ray are going to move into, and he also in the last months did streams of people like Tyler, Kevin Hart, Offset, and Mr. Beast, and all of these were absolutely massive streams, especially the Kevin Hart one as that broke records, and he has well over 100k subs on Twitch right now, which is pretty crazy. Speed is currently just going to a bunch of different countries and doing a ton of streams, and he has had a ton of big moments recently with some being good and bad. However, they were still massive and he is clearly doing well. And then you have Adin, who honestly isn't really active at all. There was supposed to be some comeback stream and he does want to come back to Twitch, but obviously he has issues since he is banned. And he said in a statement that he wants to finally become more brand safe and clean it up, and it seems like he finally realized that was a way to go, because while Kai and Speed kept up their brand image, Adin just let that completely go down the drain and he had become someone that was hard to respect. So overall, I really do hope that Adin can make some sort of comeback since his prime was very entertaining. However, it is no secret that right now he is at an all-time low while his two other friends are at all-time highs. But I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, then make sure to drop a sub as I would really appreciate it. And I also do really appreciate the support on my last two videos since I honestly wasn't expecting to get that many views.